So, Chris Wheeler of the Daily Mail has reported that Man United has made Ipswich striker Liam Delap the number one striker option for the summer transfer window ahead of Victor Osimhen, ahead of Victor Gyökeres, and all the other strikers we've been linked with. Now, here I am to try to paint a picture of how Man United could look should we proceed and sign Delap and another important player we are strongly linked with in Matthew Cunha. Let me know what you think about what could be the Manchester United squad come next season. Subscribe, like, and share, and let's get into it. So here is what I believe it would look like. So we do know that the summer transfer window is expected to be quite busy for Man United, whereas it seems there is not so much money for us to spend. What is clear is that Ineos will be able to put together resources and find ways of perhaps robbing Peter to pay Paul, if you know what I mean. The players have got to be signed for Ruben Amorim, and indeed, that's what you want to hear. Now, Cunha and Delap seem to be the first players that Man United want to sign, a striker that is, and an attacking midfielder or a forward, if I would say. And Matthews Cunha, with his buyout clause of about £62 million, and what's probable, United will be looking to sell, most probably, Alejandro Garnacho, find a bit of the cash that they can use then to finance deals for Cunha and Delap, and that would leave us with players who we certainly now do not know clearly where they fit into the team. And I'm talking Kobe Maino. For me, Kobe will still remain a number 10. And in my view, he will be the guy starting as one of the two number 10s together with Matthew Cunha. I don't see a scenario where Kobe Maino is fit and is not starting for Man United unless he's injured. What I know is if Kobe Maino stays at Man United, Ruben Amorim knows very well that he's one of the most gifted players. He has got to figure him out. And what we know is that obviously a number 10 role is what suits him best from what he has proven in the few games he has played under Amorim. So for me, this would look like the Man United attack with Kobe, Cunha, and Delap leading the line. Then Amad Diallo playing wing back on the right, Dogu on the left, and then Ugarte and Bruno as the two central midfielders, and then the back line of Heaven, Delete, and Nusal Mazraoui. That's how I would predict my starting 11 if we signed Cunha and Delap. I don't expect, I would be a bit surprised, pleasantly surprised, I should say, if Man United signed both Delap and Cunha and still had enough to sign a central midfielder who I think is an important signing to make. But from what it seems, Amorim and Ineos seem to be focused on sorting the final third because I think the players currently have proven that they can perhaps get the ball there. So maybe they need better players in the final third. And certainly in Cunha and Delap, you have better than what we have now. Cunha is industrious, can do a lot of things with the ball. Delap is strong, he's a finisher, he can score goals, proven in the Premier League, and that's the reason why he's rated highly when it comes to options for the striking department for United. But even Kobe, a player with his abilities on the ball, certainly will look a bigger threat for United going forward in the final third. Imagine with the balls we keep getting into the final third lately. If Kobe was there, imagine how different it would be because of the abilities he has got with the ball. I think it would be. I think he could have scored perhaps more goals. He could have either scored himself or created a chance. And then add in Amad Diallo flying in from the right wing, give him that space ahead of him. We've seen what he can do. I'll tell you, he will certainly injure games. He will affect games from there. So I strongly believe that that would be a stronger Man United attack. Our issues in the final third would strongly be improved. And the issue we've had for a long time where we've seen many defenders, natural defenders on the pitch, would be solved because you look at that starting 11 and you're clearly seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attack-minded players in Ahmad, Bruno, Cunha, Delap, Kobe, and Dogu. So for me, that would be a more entertaining Man United team to watch. So that for me would be my view of how we could see Man United if we signed Cunha and Delap. And what would be the total cost of signing both? It is nearly 100 million. So maybe if we sold Garnacho for about 70 and add on a few more pounds that Ineos would put in and collect from the sale of other lesser players, perhaps Man United could be able to raise 150 million pounds to sign players. And I'll tell you, if you sign Delap for 40 because that's his buyout clause, and then Cunha for 60, 100, then get a 50 or 40 and sign a central midfielder, I'll tell you Man United would look different. So I think the business might not be rocket science. And good enough, Ineos signed Amorim, a head coach who has now shown us that the players are not really as bad as we all thought, that they can actually play football and get the ball there. He has sorted the defensive issues, if you ask me. He has tried with the midfield, trying to keep it balanced and trying to manage with it. Of course, there is a bit of reinforcement needed. Then you look at the attack, that's where the issues are, and that's why he wants to bring in Cunha and Delap. Certainly for me, I think Amorim has done tremendously well in terms of showing us that the Man United squad is not as bad as it all looked a few months ago. So for me, that is what I would predict could happen if these reports that we get are anything to go by, and they seem to be from credible sources on Dilap and Cunha. I think they would be great signings because I think clearly they would be improving an issue that's glaring in the team. That's the issue of lack of clinicality in the final third, lack of threat in the final third. So with Cunha, who can score goals. And now, by the way, you look at that front three and you're looking at all players who can score a goal. Dilap certainly a striker. Kobe has shown he can score goals. Cunha can score goals as well. And I think that's also important. If you're going to play in this system, you need to have forwards who will be able to score goals at any time, not forwards who struggle to score a goal. There are forwards who struggle to get the ball in the back of the net. There are forwards who are not instinctive goal scorers, who do not have it as a natural thing in them to get the ball in the back of the net. And that is not the kind of forward line you need in this Man United. You need forwards who can all comfortably get the ball in the back of the net, but also who can create a puzzle where you will see one of the tens or the tens in moments get into the number 9 position, and then the number 9 drops as a 10. And I think Dilap can comfortably do that to create those puzzles up top. So I think for me, that would make sense. That would be a decent first summer transfer window for Ineos and Amorim, considering the circumstances that they're operating under. Not so expensive, but quite effective. That for me should be the main aim for Ineos as they go into the transfer window. So those are the reports that we gathered today, and what they would mean to Man United. And of course, there are people who will feel maybe it should be Kobe who leaves, and then we have the attack of Garnacho and Cunha and Dilap up front. I don't think so. I personally think, again, I've said it before, if we were to choose between Garnacho and Kobe who should be sold, I would clearly choose Garnacho to be sold because certainly I think Kobe is a better footballer. That's one. He's also more industrious. He can give you more in different roles. But also, I strongly believe that Garnacho doesn't really feel excited and enthralled by the idea of playing in this Ruben Amorim system. I think he wants to play football a certain way, wants to play in a more wider system where he's going to be inverted, playing from the left, which I don't think Ruben Amorim is willing to give him. So for me, sell Garnacho, buy Cunha and Dilap, play them as I've shown you, with Kobe joining Cunha as a 10 and Dilap leading the line. Then have Zach Z and the rest of the teams of the gang in Hoyland create the depth in the attack. I saw a beautiful goal scored by Chido Obi for the under 21s out of nothing. Boy drops deep, gets the ball, beats his man, turns him around, and then sprints with the ball, and then combines, I think, about three players of the opposition, and then gets a beautiful shot in the far post. Beautiful goal he scored for the Man United under 21s. This boy is another gem that, for me, if we are only going to spend 40 million pounds on Delap now, I think it would be okay as we wait for Chido Obi to grow into the player that we expect him to be and come out, take his position as the main guy in number 9 for Man United. Because 40 million is not a lot of money if you have an upcoming talent like Chido Obi. So you pay 40 now, and in 2 seasons, Shido Obi is going to be your starting number 9. I think it makes sense. It's good business. It's a smart way to look at things and to operate. So beautiful stuff there. We are trying to figure out what exactly Ineos have in mind. My name is Webb. This is the United of Sport. Subscribe.